Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nicole, and this channel is all about health, wellness, and designing your dream life. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you can set up your bullet journal for 2020. Okay, so this is my completed bullet journal for 2020. So I've gone ahead here and filled out my index. I often refer back to it when I get to the middle of the book and I need to find my first few pages. So I find that really handy to actually fill it out. And then I always put the letter of the corresponding month in the side here so I can easily find any months that I need to find. Okay, so this is my 2020 future log. I'll go through and highlight any important dates, and then I write them down in a list here. This is my year in review, so what I actually do is each month I'll go back and review each month and then write out the date and what exciting thing happened that time. So at the end I'll have all of the months filled out. This is my Seize the Day Apocalypse, which is essentially just a bucket list, and I'll go through and fill out any bucket list items that I want to be trying to do for the year. This is my debt tracker, so I'll actually fill in the date, what I've paid, what it actually is in Canadian dollars, and then my new balance, and then I'll highlight and fill out each of these lines as it fills up. This is my level 10 life. So how this one actually works is I've got 10 different categories. We've got family, friends, significant other, environment, personal development, physical health, mental health, career, business, and finances. And for each of these categories, I've got 10 lines. So I'll go through and fill out what each line means to me. So for example, for family, what does a 1 out of 10 for family mean for me, and what does 10 out of 10 for family mean for me? So 1 out of 10 might mean that I have absolutely no contact with my family whatsoever, or 10 out of 10 might mean that, we're living very close to each other and I see them often, we talk to them often, things like that. So it really helps to differentiate between the middle ones, like what is a 5 versus what is a 6 for each category. So I'll go through and fill out what each of those mean for me, and then I'll highlight each box so I can see sort of like a bar graph what each level means and where I'm at each year. So I've got for each of those. This one here is my financial plan, so I'll write in what each of my monthly expenses are, as well as what I plan on paying for my debt and what my income should be for each different category, my savings and emergency fund. So this just gives me an overview of what I'm aiming towards so I can refer back to it and see how I'm actually progressing. Now this is a good example of a yearly tracker. You can fill out your key and put whatever you want in it. And then for each month you fill in the square for what's been done. So I use this to track things that don't happen very often, like anytime I get a haircut, I'll fill in what day I got a haircut, things like that. So this one is my workouts tracker. So every day that I do a workout, I'll put a tick. So it's really good just to see at the end of the year the full overview of how many workouts I did. And then along with that, I have a running log. I don't actually go running very often, so I do like to actually track what I do, when I do it, how long it took me to run, how far I ran. If I'm on a treadmill, I'll put in the speed and the incline, and then any notes of being like how I felt that day, was it a fasted run, or had I eaten beforehand, things like that. This one is for my body measurements. I didn't use this a whole lot last year, but it was good to see that I was staying pretty stable with my weight. And then the measurements I didn't use a whole lot, but I wanted to put it back in just in case I wanted to keep up with that. This is my goals page, so it's more of an overview, not just for 2020, but for looking ahead as well. So I've got a 6-month, 1 year, 3 year, and 5 years. So I can go through and put in a couple of goals that I want to accomplish in the next 6 months, next year, 3 years, and 5 years. This one is a quote page. This is going to be my 2020 sort of mantra for the year, is going to be seek discomfort. As you can see, I really screwed it up and I put oh, awkward, that's not perfect, does that make you uncomfortable? So it kind of worked out really well that it was messed up, that I did screw it up, because it's uncomfortable for me, and I wanted to redo this page, but I decided to just make it a bit worse and leave it as is. So what this actually means for me is I want to start doing things that make me uncomfortable. I want to start challenging myself more. Things like even making YouTube videos like this one. It's uncomfortable for me, but that's how you grow. So I want to start getting out of my comfort zone so that I can grow and learn and be better. This is my books to read page, so I always write down a list of the books that I want to read, and after I've read them, I'll give them a rating out of 5 stars. And then I do the same thing with movies. Now this page is actually my 2020 goals, so I've broken it down into different categories. So I've got personal, career, financial, social, fitness, and business. So I'll write down a couple of goals for each category that I want to accomplish this year. Whereas my other page, back here somewhere, this one was more looking ahead to 3 and 5 years, whereas this one is just this year. My other sort of mantra for this year, motto, is document, don't create. So I want to be better at documenting things that are happening in my life. So whether that's journaling and writing down what I was doing each day, or making videos, but I just want to really get back into documenting what I'm doing every day, because I'm really bad at remembering what happened on trips, things like that, what I've been doing each day. So I really want to start doing more documentation of my life. And then this brings us to our first monthly spread. So this is how I've been setting up my bullet journal for a long time now. This spread has really worked for me. So I break it down into work, personal, and business. So this one, if there's anything that I have to do on a specific date, I'll write it in. So for work, I'll write down what days I get paid. Things like personal, I'll write in what days I have rent, if I have any social events on. Business, if there's any sort of deadlines that I have in my business, I'll write them down in here. And then this page is more of a to-do list. So if there's anything that I need to get done but doesn't necessarily have a deadline, I'll write it in each of these categories, again for work, personal, and business. Okay, and then the last one I have here is actually part of my monthly. I'll track my expenses. So I keep it really simple. Every time I make a purchase, I'll write it down on my phone, what I spent it on, and what the date was. So then I'll come home and I'll write it in here. So I'll write down the date, what it actually was that I bought, and how much it costs. And then when I get paid, I'll put them in the plus column, and any expenses go in the minus column. So I just find that this is really simple and easy way to keep track of my expenses. And then at the end of the month, I'll use this page and summarize everything and make sure that it actually is how much I want it to be spending, and make any adjustments for the next month. If you like this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. I upload new videos every single week. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.